Hello everyone, welcome all to the GATE solution series. So in this video we are going to discuss some questions from linear algebra from GATE 2021 mathematics paper. So let's get started. So the question number one is present on your screen. We have to check the validity of the statements P and Q by the given information. The A is a 3x4 matrix and B is a 4x3 matrix. So statement P says nullity of A is 0. Okay, so we have to check whether the P statement is true or not. Okay, so A is a 3x4 matrix, right? We know that for any matrix A, the rank of the matrix A plus its nullity of A must be equal to number of columns, which is 4 here, because A is a 3x4 matrix. And we know for any 3x4 matrix, what can the maximum value of the rank of A must be less equal 3, which is minimum of 3 and 4, right? So now what can I say about the nullity of A, which is equal to 4 minus rank of A, which is now greater or equal 4 minus 3, which is equal to 1. Implies what? Nullity of A is always greater or equal to 1. Nullity of A is always greater or equal to 1. So that straight away discards statement P. Statement P is wrong, which says nullity of A is 0. Okay, so now we'll check about the statement Q, which says BA is a non-singular matrix, right? What can you say about the size of BA? B is a 4x3 matrix and A is a 3x4 matrix. So BA will be a square matrix of size 4x4. So हमें पता है कि when can a square matrix be non-singular of size n cross n? Only if the rank of the matrix is n, right? So now can the rank of BA be 4? Let's check. We know that rank of BA is always less equal minimum of rank of B and rank of A. The symbol is for rank. And now as B and A, all of matrix rectangular matrix, and we know rank of B is less equal 3, also rank of A is less equal 3, whatever it may be, but those two will be less equal 3. Their minimum will also less equal 3. So what I got is rank of the matrix BA will always be less equal 3. So the rank of the matrix BA can't be 4. So the matrix can't be non-singular straight away. So always the rank, whatever the rank of B or rank of A may be, but rank of BA will always be less equal 3, hence BA can't be non-singular. So statement Q is also false. So statement P, statement Q both are false, hence the option D is the correct option here. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Let R be the row reduced echelon form of a 4x4 matrix A, and let the third column of R be 0, 1, 0, 0. This is the information given, and we have to check again the validity of the two statements P and Q. Okay, what the P statement says is alpha, beta, gamma 0 is a solution of AX equals 0, then gamma is 0. Okay. First thing is we have to know a property of the row reduced echelon form, that if suppose R is the row reduced echelon form of the matrix A, then every solution of the system AX equals 0 is same as the solution to the system Rx equals 0, right? I mean, any solution to any system is a solution to the other system. So if alpha, beta, gamma 0 is solution to Ax equals 0, then it is also a solution to Rx equals 0, right? यहाँ पे they want us to confuse thinking that okay, I will tell you. Suppose R is a 4x4 matrix, right? And they are saying the second to third column is 0, 1, 0, 0, right? Only this they have given, right? They want us, because R is a row reduced echelon form, we know that every non-leading, every row which has a non-zero entry, that must be 1. And by some, we know that for a row reduced echelon form, the leading non-zero entry of the row is right to the previous row, right? So suppose the first row has leading non-zero entry here, right? They want us to think that in the second row, this one is the leading non-zero entry, right? If this happens, suppose now whatever may be the other things, or suppose now in this case when alpha, beta, gamma 0 is the solution. Okay, suppose here X is there, any number, not not even 0, like any number, like 5 suppose. Then if this is 0, then we can straight away, a student can think that it's 0 into 0, 0 into beta is 0, so gamma 5 into 0, so just straight away we got gamma equals 0, right? तो यही हम स्टूडेंट सोचेंगे, I mean this is the point what they want us to confuse with. But listen, if you see carefully, this is not the only case, right? What R matrix can be, row reduced echelon form बनाना है तुमको, तो just only condition is this, right? The third column is this. Now it is not necessary that only in the third column we get the non-zero entry of the second row. We can have this matrix because of suppose in first row the leading entry will be in first column, then all the entries in that column are 0, and now for the second row the leading entry in the second column. See? So see, is there any problem with this matrix? No, it satisfies everything. This is in row reduced echelon form with the third column 0 1 0 0. Now if alpha beta gamma 0 is the solution, then what can we find? We just get alpha into 0 plus 1 into beta plus 1 into gamma plus 0 into 0 equal to 0, which means just beta plus gamma equal to 0. So this is the condition. So in this case, gamma is not necessarily 0 now. I mean, if beta is 1, gamma will be minus 1. Right? So P statement is false. We have to just think in every possible way. They just want us to confuse in the first case which I told. Okay, so let's P statement is false. Let's check about the second statement. Second statement says for all B belongs to R4, rank of A augmented B is equal to rank of R augmented B. See, हम ऐसे normally if we want to just observe the fact, जब हमें rank of A augmented B निकालना होता है, what we will do is we perform some elementary row transformations and we convert A to its row reduced echelon form, right? But while converting, B also gets converted, correct? It may happen that the last row of A after reducing it to row reduced echelon form will be all 0. And equivalently, the last entry in the B will be 0, right? In that case, rank will be reduced. But हमें जरूरी नहीं है कि directly B के last entry 0 हो. मतलब I will give an example. Like suppose A is matrix 1 0 0 0. So I'll just straight away give A augmented B. What will I take B as? Okay, 1 1 1. So हमें इसके rank निकालना, तो how will you do is I will perform some row elementary transformations. The transformation is suppose R3 minus R2, R4 minus R2. So R2 will remain as it is. R3 will become 1 0 0 0 0. Also this also becomes 0. So what is its rank? Its rank is 2. Correct? Okay. But if you want to compare just this is now R, right? This is my R. And now if you compare RB, rank of this RB, which will be like straight away here I will write in place of 0 0, there will be just 1 1. Okay, now if you want to find its rank will be again you will do one more elementary row transformation, which is R4 minus R3, and you will get 0 here. And now if you find the rank, its rank will be 3. Right? Its rank will be 3. They are not equal. So Q option will be also be wrong. Q statement is also wrong. So both P and Q statements are wrong. So option D is the correct option here. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Number 19 here. Okay. Let's see क्या निकालना क्या है. Question number 19 is on your screen. Let T is the linear transformation from R3 to R3 और कुछ given information है और उसके basis पे हमें निकालने rank of T. Okay. So we know what a rank means. Rank of a linear transformation is basically the dimension of the range space of T. Okay. and here the range space will be a subspace of R3. Okay. What we know is from given information हमें ये दिख रहा है कि this vector 1 minus 1 1, the element 1 minus 1 1 and 1 1 1, these two vectors belongs to the range space of T. I will write as it. And these two elements, if you observe closely, these two vectors are linearly independent, correct? So we know the rank of T is what is simply the dimensions of range space of T. And what is the dimension means? It's a maximum linearly independent set. That means there cannot be more than dimension number of vectors which are linearly independent, right? So from this information we can say that rank of T will be greater or equal to, because we got two linearly independent set in the range space, right? Because then its dimension must be greater or equal to. So rank of T will be greater or equal to. So now let's observe nullity. Right? For nullity, I have a theorem. We know a theorem, which theorem states that if T is a linear transformation from V to W, then T is 1 1 if and only if nullity of T is 0. Right? This is the if and only if theorem. So if you want to find the nullity, if you want to prove that nullity is 0, just check whether the T is 1 1 or not. Okay. So I claim here that the nullity is non-zero. Nullity is non-zero. Right. So what we know is T square at 1 1 1 is equal to T square at 1 1 2. But I can write this as T of T at 1 1 1 is equal to T of T at 1 1 2, right? So if these two are not equal, then we are through, because x is not equal to y and T of x equals T of y, which implies T is not 1 1. We are done. If suppose T at 1 1 2 is equal to T at 1 1 1, if T at 1 1 1 is equal to T at 1 1 2, then also we can use the same principle, because T of x is equal to T of y, but x is not equal to y, and plus T is not 1 1 here also. So in any case, we got that T is not 1 1, which implies nullity of T is non-zero, which implies nullity is greater or equal 1, right? So by rank nullity theorem, here I can say now rank of T plus nullity of T is equal to what? 3, which is dimension of the domain, which is R3, which implies rank of T is equal to 3 minus nullity of T, and nullity of T greater or equal 1 implies this is less equal 3 minus 1, which is 2. So this is equation number 2, and the equation number 1 was this. Now if you observe these two equations, rank T greater or equal to and rank T less equal to, what does it imply? This implies rank of T is equal to 2. I hope you got it. So rank of T is 2. This is a numerical answer type question. So that's it. Rank of T is 2. Now let's go to the next question. Question number 52. Okay. So what question number 52 says is, let V be a vector space of all polynomials of degree less equal to, and there is a transformation given on V, and we have to find the sum of eigenvalues of T. Okay. So we know sum of eigenvalues of T. If you find the matrix corresponding to a basis of T, then we just have to find now the trace of that matrix, right? Because that will be equal to the sum of all the eigenvalues of T. So just let's find the matrix of T corresponding to a standard basis. Let's take the basis B, which is 1, x and x squared. In fact, without finding the basis, without finding the whole matrix T, we just have to find the diagonal entries, right? Because for trace, we just have to know this element, and this element. So we know how you find the matrix. How you find this matrix? We find the image of 1 here, and write it in terms of 1, x and x squared, right? Coordinates. We find T of x here, and write is the linear combination of 1, coordinate of 1 here, coordinate of x here, coordinate of x squared. Now T of x squared. Correct? So what we have to find is the coordinate of T of 1 corresponding to 1, coordinate of T of x corresponding to x, coordinate of T of x square corresponding to x square. Okay, that's fine. If P is 1, then the coefficient of 1 is this P of 0 minus P of 1, right? When P of x is equal to 1, what is P of 0 minus P of 1? Constant, so 1 minus 1 is 0. That's it, this element is 0. This element entry is 0 here. Now we have to find coefficient of x in T of x. Okay. T of x. Right. T of x में x को coefficient क्या है? They have given P of 0 plus P of 1. So what is P of x here? First of all, P of x is x. We have to find what is P of 0 plus P of 1, which is equal to 0 plus 1, which is 1. So here entry is 1. Now when our P of x is equal to x square, we want to find the coefficient of x square, which is simply P of 0. So P of 0 is 0. So this entry is also 0. And now you can straight away see what is trace. Trace is 1. So the answer here is 1. Pretty easy, right? Okay. Let's go to the next question. Question number 43. Yeah, this is a good question. This requires some knowledge of inner products. Okay, so let's get started. Let's see the question. Just have to say, like previous question, we just have to check the validity of the two statements P and Q. Okay, so let's see what P statement says. Okay, for P statement we have to know the inequality, which is called as Cauchy-Schwarz inequality. Cauchy-Schwarz inequality. This will be there in any book. In linear product chapter, if you find in any book, you will get this inequality. The inequality says that the modulus of inner product for any two vectors in the inner product space, the modulus of inner product is less equal norm, product of norms, norm of u into norm of v. This is the Cauchy-Schwarz inequality. We have to use this fact. Now we know this inequality, right? But we want to check this thing. If you closely observe this, something similar to like a square plus 2ab plus b, right? You can sort of relate this thing, because inner product of u is what? It's simply norm of u squared. The inner product of vv is norm v squared. So kind of, if we just observe this thing, norm of u plus norm of v whole square, or I think minus norm u minus norm v whole square, because square of n number is greater or equal to 0 always. This is real number, which implies if you expand this, then norm u squared minus 2 times norm u into norm v plus norm v squared is greater or equal to 0, and this is inner product uu minus 2 times norm u into norm v plus inner product vv is greater or equal to 0, which implies 2 times norm u into norm v is less equal inner product u comma u plus inner product v comma v, and simply these two things here, and we got what we want. Okay, this is equation 1, this is equation 2. From equation 1 and 2, modulus of inner product less equal product of norms. Product of norm is less equal this thing, which is here. Right? So statement P is correct. Right, statement P is correct. Now let's check about the statement Q. Statement Q says inner product uv equals to 2 inner product u to inner product of 2u comma minus v for all v belongs to Rn. Then u is 0. Okay, let's check. What is given is inner product of uv is equal to inner product of 2u minus v for all v belongs to Rn. Okay, so just हम इसको थोड़ा शिफ्ट कर लेते हैं लेफ्ट साइड को राइट साइड में, तो इनर प्रोडक्ट 2u minus v minus inner product of q comma v is there, right? So हमें पता है properties of inner product, it is linear in terms of first coordinate term 2u minus v inner product minus u comma v, right? The first term takes outside, so is the same as this, but no, don't write it. You don't get any benefit from this. The we write is inner product u minus v. Right? We can also take it to the second quadrant. Now if we add, this is 2u plus u, that's 3u, and this is minus 2v. Correct? Okay. Now this is 0. Right? For all u. Also I can write this as 3 times u minus 2v is equal to 0, which implies inner product u minus 2v equal to 0 for all v. Okay? So if it is true for all v, I can take v to be minus of u by 2. Right? This also will, doesn't violate any condition, given condition. And now what will happen by taking this u? It will be just minus plus and 2 by 2 cancel. It will just inner product u equals 0. And by the simple definition of inner product of u can only be 0 when only u is 0. So the statement is correct. What we got is P statement is also correct, Q statement is also correct. So both P and Q are true. The option is the right option. So that's it, guys. So thank you so much. Hope you like the video.